All right, friends, it's Teen. I'm back with a brand new video. Carnivore versus vegan. Yes. Kent the carnivore. He's going to, this guy is going to do a rebuttal to Kent the carnivore. His name is Humane Hancock. Okay, let's see what this vegan slave has to say. All right. Hancock says, delusional vegan gets reality check. Yeah, that's true. The vegan does get a reality check. Vegan responds. So this vegan's going to respond. Okay.
So a YouTuber called Kent Carnivore has made a video giving a delusional vegan a reality check. I'm the delusional vegan. It's me.
You're the one in the street talking. What do you expect? It's you. Hello. Okay.
We knew this.
You are delusional because it's a fabrication. Doesn't exist out in nature. Vegan doesn't exist.
They would come when I started making.
There are only two types of, if you would call it, I'm not going to call it a diet. There's just two types. There's herbivore and carnivore. Humans are carnivore. Now, whether you want to eat an artificial diet or man-made engineered diet, that's your problem. And you call yourself vegan, okay? So that obviously is artificial, because if these artificial foods and engineered foods by man, we're not in the city where you live in this artificial environment called city, which doesn't exist. It's a fabrication. It's a manipulation, fabrication out of what is natural. Then it's all fake, bro. But anyways, let's hear what he has to say.
Videos. Basically, he's made this video where he's showing a compilation of vegans getting owned, and he's adding some commentary.
Yes, they get owned.
And so I'm not the only one in this video, but I'm in a thumbnail and there are clips of me in it, so I thought I would just respond to his reasoning as to why I'm delusional and share my thoughts.
What's stopping humans of using animals for their own benefit?
Nothing's stopping us. We are doing that. Well, why shouldn't they? Because does might make right?
Well, in nature it kind of does, doesn't it?
I'm not talking about what's natural. I'm saying morality.
I love that one. I'm not talking about what's natural, morality. Morality doesn't exist in nature. What are you talking about? This guy lives in such a fake world. He thinks that fake can over-trump something natural, something that was created naturally, which man can't create. They can't do anything. They can only manipulate they manipulate out of the environment.
All right, so
Who are you to say that morality is superior to nature?
Exactly. Who are you? Nobody. You're just some dude, a human fabricating.
Vegans don't seem to care about what's natural, which is a mistake because nature...
I agree with him. Nature doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't care about nature. Nature doesn't make mistakes.
doesn't make mistakes.
So you're right,
That's right.
that when it comes...
But these humans, they think that nature makes mistakes, because then they see these crazy babies come out and, you know, people crippled, deformed, this, that, or they say there's diseases. Those aren't diseases. It's a malfunction in your unit, the unit that you were given to walk around on this planet in the physical form, corporeal form. It's malfunctioning because you're poisoning it. You're using these toxins which are poisoning you slowly, causing malfunctions. His brain is malfunctioning now too in this environment. He's become dysfunctional. He actually believes in fake, what men are creating, this artificial environment they're creating out of the natural environment. He thinks this is real.
to deciding how I think I should behave, I'm not
You don't need to think at all. You need to act normal, but you can't act normal because you're abnormal.
concerned with what's natural. You can make a very strong
No,
case.
it's because you're unnaturally abnormal, and you're acting abnormal because if you were in nature and instead of this artificial environment, this house and this whatever you're sitting in there, this city, then you wouldn't be acting the way you are. See what I mean? And anybody out there would find you delusional and acting unnatural.
That war, violence, and sexual oppression are all natural.
Okay, what is war, natural, whatever the hell he's talking about, sexual violence? What does war have to do with eating natural food? What does that have to do with anything? Hello?
things that have existed throughout.
This is the argument that these crazy vegans can only come up with. They have to fabricate more stuff to come up with their delusional explanation of why you should be a fake vegan and eat fake food and do a bunch of fake stuff, whatever, and destroy yourself.
The history of our species, but also are things we.
The history of our species, what about it? Sometimes being too smart may not be so good. Are you comfortable, sir? You like where you live, huh? You're comfortable. That was built on the backs of animals. Hello.
See throughout the animal kingdom. But I think we should try to make war, violence, and sexual oppression less prevalent in our societies, despite the fact.
Yes, we should make wars and all this less prevalent and all that. You want to know why there's wars and everything? Because they're eating an unnatural diet. They're high in the estrogen, which is a known fact to make you aggressive. High testosterone does not make you aggressive. That's why our society is doomed, because they're eating plants, you moron. You moron. Listen to me, dude. Society is mentally sick and ill. We're a sick society. We're dysfunctional because we're poisoning ourselves with toxic plants, an apex organism on this planet. It protects itself from being eaten by what? Toxifying itself. That's how. And then you want to eat that? You must be joking. The cow eats it, processes it, and you eat the cow. That's how you stay healthy. But if you want to eat what the cow eats, well, go ahead. That's why you're so sick and delusional. Look, you're wearing eyeglasses. Nobody in nature would be wearing eyeglasses. They don't exist in nature. Hello.
That they're natural. I want to receive medical treatment if I'm in an accident. I want to have
Then don't have an accident. Don't have it. You're having an accident because you're doing things artificially. You're jumping on things, riding a car, plane. You're in an accident. Hello.
access to contraception. There are plenty of unnatural things that are good for us.
Contraception, you don't need any contraception in nature. The meaning of life is to procreate, is to create more DNA. Why do you need contraception?
And there are plenty of unnatural things that are bad for us. The point is, just because something is...
Wait. There's a lot of unnatural things that are bad for us? What? I mean, yeah, unnatural. There is a lot of unnatural things. All these things are natural bad for us. But if you're saying there's something natural bad for us, there's nothing.
It's natural. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good or desirable.
What? Something natural is not going to be good or desirable? Everything natural is good and is desirable, yes.
Or ideal for our society.
And is ideal for society. Everything natural is good and natural for society. Whatever, bro. This guy's nuts.
Another thing is that when you think about it, it can actually be quite hard to know where to draw the line as to what we decide is natural and unnatural. You know, many of the plant food...
What's natural, unnatural? Animals. That's natural. They roam in nature. It's natural to go out there, you as a carnivore, and eat them. That's why we eat meat. The entire world eats meat. And those who don't, they die. They get sick and they die. Okay? These are unnatural. These are all unnatural. They've been engineered from these so-called plants in nature. That's why you're showing arrows down here, because they don't exist up there. If they don't exist up there, they exist down here. They mean it was engineered. It's unnatural.
That we typically view as natural.
It's a manipulation.
Are actually changed through selective breeding and look completely different to the original, more natural counterparts. And ultimately...
Selectual breeding? Yeah, but they're still animals, though. Even if they have sex and have another animal, they're natural. You manipulate them, definitely. They become domesticated, but they're still an animal. They're still naturally an animal. Like you. You're a domesticated human. You're still natural, though, but you're domesticated. You're eating artificial, you're living in an artificial environment, and you're eating artificial food.
Humans are a species who evolved through natural selection by evolution like all the other animals on.
We evolved through natural selection, but we're devolving eating an artificial diet called grains, which we're not supposed to be eating. And all these other fake foods. Hello, sir.
This planet. So you can actually make a strong case that all human behavior is...
So you're saying that transgender is natural too, right? This is normal? It's unnatural. Gay is unnatural. All these things, transgender, transvesti, whatever. All these things are unnatural, but you want to make them. You want to normalize them, make them something not normal, and then make it into tradition. See what I mean?
natural. I mean, humans evolved to build skyscrapers through the same process that
We evolved to build skyscrapers? We didn't evolve to build skyscrapers. We can build them. Yes, we can manipulate the environment and build them.
birds evolved to build nests. Anyway, I actually have an in-depth
Birds didn't evolve to build nests. They're programmed to build nests. Maybe you don't understand that. You have instincts to survive, and these instincts, they're programmed in you. Now, you're gonna say, what knowledge were you born with? Well, you're born with instincts to survive. That's the only knowledge you're born with. The rest is all, I don't know. You're discovering things through experiences. Hello.
video on the appeal to nature fallacy, so I'll link that in the description of this video. But when it comes to ethics, I strive to take an approach that
No such thing as ethics. They don't exist.
emphasizes the experience of conscious beings.
You can't touch ethics, feel it, or see it. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist out there. There's no such thing as ethics. Just like vegan. There's no such thing as vegan. You can't see it, touch it, or hear it, or anything.
You know, I want the world to contain less suffering, both for humans and for non-humans. I know.
Humans and non-humans? What are you talking about? This planet it was made like that.
Completely wacky idea. Delusional vegan over here. Regarding the point you made about nature not making mistakes,
Nature doesn't make mistakes.
That's right.
well, the process of evolution
Does not make mistakes.
essentially relies on mistakes. Genetic
No, it doesn't. It does not rely on mistakes. This guy's really delusional, man. If you do something that is unnatural, then you're the cause of it. No, nature doesn't make mistakes.
mutations are essentially mistakes in the replication.
A mutation is a mistake. A mutation is something that you did artificially. You ate something that you weren't supposed to, and you caused a mutation. You understand me, man? This guy's crazy. He thinks that mutations are natural. Is a natural cause. Oh, there's a mutation. It was a natural cause of mutation. No, you believe that's a fabrication. Get it? There's no such thing. It doesn't exist in nature. None of these things exist. They only exist in your environment, the fantasy world.
Process. And most of these random mutations are either neutral
No, they don't.
or harmful when it comes to reproductive fitness. Like, for example, random mutations of the
No,
ST
they don't. The toxins are causing the mutations now. They're harmful, yes. They're harmful. Poisoning yourself is harmful, dude.
N9A gene can lead to people being
You aren't aging. You stopped aging at 25. If you stopped growing, you stopped aging. You're deteriorating. That's what you are doing. That's why when animals die, they look young when they die. They don't look old and decrepit. When's the last time you saw a cat look like a 90-year-old man down the street, your neighbor, all shriveled up? Not.
completely incapable of feeling physical pain, which of course reduces their chances of survival and reproductive success.
Yeah, he's making this stuff up. He doesn't know anything. He's a human. And no human knows anything on this planet. They're born with instincts to survive. So allow him to keep fabricating.
Occasionally, though, a random mutation does lead to a reproductive advantage.
And how do you know that exactly? How would you know that?
Like a giraffe having a slightly longer neck. And because
A slightly longer neck? A giraffe having a slightly longer neck? You mean because it's still growing? It hasn't fully grown? What are you talking about?
this leads to a reproductive advantage, this trait becomes more prevalent.
Okay, you're talking about heights in human beings? I don't know. We're living in such an artificial environment. We're all messed up. I don't know why our heights are different. Maybe our heights at one point were all the same. Who the hell knows, bro? Do you know? You don't know anything.
In the gene pool over time. So to say that nature doesn't make mistakes is actually a mistake, because all of the
No, that's not true. Nature never makes a mistake. It's flawless. What are you talking about?
diversity you're seeing in nature is
This universe does not make mistakes. It is perfect in every way. You're a mistake.
predicated on mistakes in the gene replication process. That's how evolution works.
There are no mistakes in the gene replication process, okay? We wouldn't be here if there was.
And this idea that nature is perfect, as if it's this well thought out process, is actually
It is well thought out process. It is beyond your comprehension. It's like the universe trying to explain nuclear physics to a clam. Hello? And you're the clam, dude.
actually in conflict with what we see when we look at nature. I mean, the fact that animals are impaled by their own horns or tusks as they
They're impaled by their own horns or tusks. Maybe they're eating something unnatural, or they're supposed to do something so that the horns don't impale them. And they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know. I can't tell you. You understand me? But nature doesn't make mistakes.
age illustrates that nature isn't some kind of agent with forward thinking. We're talking about an indifferent.
Are these so-called ones that are impaling, are they domesticated, undomesticated? Like, where are you getting this from exactly? Are they living in the wild, or is this on a farm somewhere where they don't care and then they have to keep cutting it?
Amoral, unguided process, and we certainly shouldn't be appealing to what's natural in order to determine how we should behave towards ourselves, other people, or other animals.
I think you're agreeing a bit more with my argument,
Man, he just made that stuff up.
honestly, because you're saying that because of differences between different beings, they need to be treated differently. Of course. So, saying that animals are different to humans, they need to be different.
Of course, you don't need to give them the right to vote or anything like that.
What?
You need to give them the right to vote? How can they vote? What are you talking about? There's no such thing as voting in nature.
The point I was making was that
Here's the funny part. This guy keeps talking about animals, this, that, humans, and wars and all that. Meanwhile, animals, they don't need passports to go anywhere in the world. They're free to go anywhere they want. They can roam anywhere. They can cross borders. Nobody's going to stop them and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Buffalo, do you have a passport? Why are you coming in here?" No. Birds, animals, they fly south, they come back and forth. It doesn't apply to them. Nature does not apply to them. To you, a passport may be real, but there's no such thing as a border, and passports don't exist. They're all fabrications by man. They're fake. Everything is fake. Gyms, lifting, injecting stuff, eating drugs, these fake foods, these buildings, churches, cults, religions. Man, passports and everything and borders are fake. They don't exist in nature, dude. Hello.
different beings have different interests, and so it does make sense to treat them differently.
We don't have any interests. You're fabricating interests. We don't have any.
Based on those interests. This doesn't
We don't have anything. We don't have anything. Our purpose is to create more DNA. That's it. And die. That's it.
undermine the case for equality, by the way. Within our species, we can see that human babies...
He doesn't like nature because for him, he doesn't like that. For him, it doesn't work for him. Nobody wants him. Nobody wants to create DNA with him, create more DNA with him. That's his problem. He loves this artificial environment because he's a slave to it. He's been slaved to this artificial environment. And he's been so brainwashed, so conditioned that he actually believes in his little mind that this is real. He actually believes. That's why people say we live in the Matrix. You do live in the Matrix. Here's the Matrix, and out there, nature. That's what the movie was about. Nature, Matrix, bro. You live in the Matrix.
Don't need the right to drive, and biological men don't need the right to an abortion, but we still believe in equality between the sexes. I guess a lot of the time we might just say, hey...
We believe in equality of the sexes. No, we don't. We didn't. They wanted equality. So they wanted to be like the opposite sex, women. So they fought for the same qualities because they needed guidance. They need to be. Here's the thing. It's like dancing. A woman is looking for a person to take control in the dancing. She needs a partner, and you need to be a good leader. You need to lead her. Yeah, the better the leader, the better the dancing, the better the dancers. See what I mean? And so men were leading, but at some point, women, they want to be the leaders. Patriarchy, matriarchy, that kind of stuff. Hello, dude?
Sure, I believe in equality because that feels like the right thing to say, and maybe we don't really think that...
equality, yes, and all that, yes. None of this matters, nothing. You're going to die soon. It's not going to matter.
Clearly about what we exactly mean by that. But obviously it doesn't make sense to mean that all humans should be treated exactly the same. As I'm describing, different humans have different needs and interests. Moral philosopher Peter Singer.
Wow, different humans have different needs and different interests. Oh, yes, okay. All the interests are the same. Create DNA and die. That's the interest.
popularized the principle of equal consideration of interests. The principle suggests that what matters are the strengths of the being's interests, and similar strengths should be given equal consideration, regardless.
The truth is, what does this have to do with vegan and carnivore? He just keeps mumbling, rambling off stuff that makes no sense, has nothing to do with the topic.
Of the sex or race or species that these individuals belong to.
Yeah,
I guess
sure.
it really goes without saying that like the current world we live in is nowhere close to like an equal consideration of interests, especially when it comes to non-human animals.
Equal interests? No, there's just behaviors. It's a behavior. You're exuding a behavior in an artificial environment. That's what you're doing.
And you don't have to believe in the principle of equal consideration of interests.
Even believe doesn't exist because you have to believe in it. It's not based on facts.
To recognize that like the trade-offs we're currently making between human well-being and animal well-being is kind of crazy. Maybe we get a level.
Human well-being and animal well-being. Well, there's a lot of animals out there. What about it, bro? Humans could get eaten too as well out in nature.
Of sensory pleasure from eating pig meat. But like you have to weigh that with.
Yeah, a bear would get, some sensations too eating a human, and what about it?
The consequence of it, which in the UK would mean a pig living in a factory farm for 6 months before dying in a CO2 gas chamber, which causes intense suffering. I actually spoke to a consultant.
Okay, and they put him in a CO2 gas chamber, and why? Are you doing that? Are you doing that to these animals? No. So what are you worried about as long as you're not doing it? I'm not doing it to them. If people are doing that, then, go and try and stop it. You're not going to save the planet. You're not going to save the world. And this planet doesn't need saving, man. This planet's been here for billions of years, dude. Billions of years. Doesn't need you. Doesn't need anything of none of this. And anything they're doing is not going to matter in the end anyways.
Of the meat industry about this, Dr. Temple Grandin, who described to me how it creates a burning sensation in
a meat industry. Well, we're not hunting anymore, so I guess we're relying on other people to hunt for us.
their lungs. There's a fear response where the pigs thrash around in the gas chamber in many cases and try and escape, and it creates what probably feels like the late stages of drowning. So we're talking about a very extreme.
Why would they put him in a gas chamber? Sounds very expensive. Why wouldn't they just hit him with a pistol gun? If they want to end their life humanely because they want to consume them, then why wouldn't they just hit him with a gun? I don't know, whatever.
Level of suffering here. This is after they've spent their life in a factory farm. So very strong.
Yeah, but they're not suffering. They're dead. Some dead can't suffer. They've been killed and they're being processed for food. They're being chopped up for us to eat.
Interests compared to the interests that we have in eating them, in getting a few.
What is our interest in eating them? We're carnivores. That's what we do. We eat meat, unfortunately. It's unfortunate. If it was designed, like you say, so perfect, then why weren't we designed to eat these plants on the planet? You want to know why? Because we would probably consume the entire planet and it would disappear. We would consume areas where there were animals to the point where there were no animals. That's why we started consuming plants. And so it turned to be survival. It's a survival thing. We have survival skills to stay alive. So we ate plants to survive until we could find more animals. And that became tradition. And that's why we're all sick now. And then it became marketing, a business. Yes, sir, that's what happens.
Moments of sensory pleasure that we're going to forget about very quickly. Now, look, I'm not saying that a meat eater is a terrible person for eating animals. I ate animals for...
Wait. We're not a terrible person for eating animals. We have to eat animals. Here's the thing, bro. There's a difference, man. We have to eat animals. We have to. We don't have a choice. You have to if you want to be healthy and normal.
A very large proportion of my life, and
yeah, you ate a lot of animals growing up. That's why you're healthy. Now you're becoming a vegan. Your cells can store a lot of these so-called nutrients. They're stored in there, but eventually when you run out of them, they'll be allocating everywhere. That's why vegan compilations came out. They're losing their hair, teeth, body, energy, everything is going. So they went and turned back to where? Everybody goes back to what? Carnivore diet. Look, I went on a fruitishy diet. You could say I ate a lot of fruit during COVID, and it destroyed me. And I gravitated back to what? My natural food as a carnivore, meat, because it was instinctual to go back there. The plants were destroying me. The fruits, they destroyed me. And now the meat has restored me. I'm normal again. Get it, dude? You get it? Yeah.
You can recognize that the suffering of these animals in factory farms and in slaughterhouses matter.
Oh man, my heart goes out to them, man. The slaughter, and all that. Yes. If you don't have control over something, why worry about it? Why worry about it? You don't have control over this planet, nothing. You don't have any power. If you did, you wouldn't be. If you had knowledge or something, then you probably wouldn't be here, right? Neither would I. So you don't have no say in this. You're wasting your time.
If you're still a meat eater, I mean, we should be able to agree that
What do you mean you're still a meat eater? Meat eater. You are a carnivore. And cows are herbivores.
happening in CO2 gas chambers and in factory farms is awful.
Oh my God, CO2 gas chambers. It's really awful. Well, if they're doing that, then go and tell them to stop doing that and tell them to do it humanely.
I think a big part of this is that we are just so disconnected from the process.
No, we live in an artificial environment. We stopped living in nature. We don't hunt as we would normally do.
The piece of meat that we see wrapped up in plastic in the supermarket is so far removed from the suffering of animals. In fact,
no, you've never hunted, so you would never know what it's like to be a hunter because you're so domesticated at this point, little boy. Yes, you're actually turning into transgender because you're domesticated. You are a domesticated animal, a domesticated human animal. Yes.
Farms and
untouched with nature.
Gas chambers. So I think that most people are compassionate towards animals and don't want them to suffer. But,
that we're compassionate towards animals and they don't want them to suffer. Well, if they don't want them to suffer, these vegans who have dogs and cats and everything, then, why are they feeding them the animals?
As much as we don't like to think about it, it is the reality that animals are suffering terribly in these places.
Yeah, and that's what humans found out. We found out that we suffer immensely when we go on a plant. If we try to eat like what herbivores eat, plants, we suffer immensely. That's why there's the vegan compilation, and that's why everybody goes back to what they're supposed to eat. Their natural behavior. It's a behavior. Your behavior, you have to change your behavior and go back to eating what? Meat.
When you consider the scale of the suffering, I mean, the number of animals.
What about it? The scale of suffering for humans will be astronomical if they stop eating meat.
In factory farms right now is around the same ballpark as the total number of humans.
It's already taking a toll, the chemicals and the fake foods that we're eating, that's already taking a toll on society. Look around you. The COVID, the diseases, they're accumulating. There's all kinds of weird things going out there. Dysfunctional metabolic diseases. Look at the industry. It's multi-billion-dollar industry. The what do you call it? Pharmaceutical industry. What does it live off of? Eating plants. This is what happens when you eat artificial food. You're sick. That's why the health food store exists and all these kind of weird things, because people are eating artificial food, man-made, engineered artificial food all day, and this is what happens to you, friend. See, you got to eat natural food, whole food, which is animal food.
Who have ever lived. I mean, even if you barely think animals have any moral worth at all, even if you think...
Man, you can argue through your teeth as long as you... Forever, bro. But in the end of the day, you're a carnivore, and you need to eat meat eventually. You can only go so long eating bowls of salad. Trust me, you're going to fall apart very quickly. I know a lot of people like that, and they all fell apart. Their hair started falling out, a whole bunch of stuff.
The suffering of animals is almost worthless if you put any value on it at all. Because of the scale, because of the amount of it, the case for this being extremely serious and important is kind of wild. And yet when you look at political debates and conversations around ethics, this just generally isn't taken seriously, unless you're talking about like academic philosophers. It's quite incredible the extent to which we've been able to just ignore this issue collectively. And I think that's why activists can resort to doing some
Yes, and the new generation has come around, is going to save the day. Okay.
confrontational things that gets people annoyed because they are desperately trying to pull attention towards this issue that is so huge.
Gets what people annoyed? Which ones? Vegans? Doesn't annoy me. I don't know what you're talking about.
And yet it is just being ignored, like it doesn't matter at all. And yet if one person kicks a dog and it's caught on camera, the whole West seem to go crazy. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if you can kind of understand where I'm coming from with this. If you can kind of empathize a little bit with the vegans who might seem crazy to you on first sight. Now, I'm not saying that these
They kicked the dog and they went crazy because it's abuse. There's a difference there.
confrontational tactics are the most effective thing to do. This is a very complicated issue. But I do think that people who get a lot of negative attention, like Tash Peterson, they're genuine in their compassion for animals, and they're accepting lots of negative social consequences to trying to raise awareness for the suffering of these animals, and I think that's pretty endearing. Anyway, the concept of equal consideration.
The suffering of these animals, yes, the suffering, okay. And what will happen to humans when they start to suffer? What will happen? Will you rise up to the occasion and save the day? Super Ken, or whatever your name is, I forgot your name already. Super Humane Hancock, Super Hancock to the rescue. How are you going to rescue us? How are you going to rescue us when we start dying, eating these plants, and they poison us to death? What are you going to do to save us all, huh?
Of interest in moral philosophy, I think, is an important one. And I have another...
Yeah, moral philosophy. Okay, so, you know, I've heard that before, man. I hear that from a lot of people. I grew up hearing that shit, man, in school and everywhere you go. Moral philosophy and this and that. Where's the moral philosophy when they're treating you like shit and everything out there? When they're trying to feed you a slave diet, a prisoner slave diet, bread and water all day, poisoning you all day, poisoning children when they grow up. Now, you know, I'm not against people when they grow up as an adult like you want to eat plants all day and poison yourself and die. It's okay, but children, you're going too far now, man. Children, they need to eat natural food, bro. And then they can make a decision when they grow up, when they're like 18. Then you can tell them, here, you have a decision. You want to eat natural food or you want to eat fake food all day and poison yourself. So remember, that's child abuse. If you're feeding them plants, any kind of fake food, and if you give children any sugar, which is a drug, and any of these fake foods or anything, that is child abuse, and you should be prosecuted. That's how I see that. I see that as a crime, and you should be prosecuted. You are an inhumane human to feed children an unnatural diet like plants and toxify them. You understand me? Poisoning them with plants, with arsenic and cyanide and sugar and everything, feeding them drugs all day. So you are an unhumane human being. You need to be punished for that. Yes, and everybody else that's doing it.
Video where I go into far more depth on it. So if it's not quite clicking for you, or you just find it interesting, I'll put a link to that video.
People like him need to be criminally prosecuted to promote this and have children eat this diet, or whatever they call this. Diet doesn't even exist in nature. Eat this fake food.
In the description box as well. I would also highly recommend the first chapter of Peter Singer's book, Animal Liberation. He's actually released an updated version very recently called Animal Liberation Now. But that first chapter is really, in my opinion...
Go out in nature and liberate them. Go out there, tell them, animals, you've been liberated. Oh, I think they're busy crossing borders without passports. Okay.
The best explanation of the principle of equal consideration of interests. And if I remember correctly, I do think it took me a little bit of time to kind of...
You know, I didn't create this planet, but it's kind of obvious. With the animals and the plants and everything were created for a reason. There's a reason why herbivore animals eat plants, and there's a reason why carnivore animals eat meat. There's a reason for everything. And we as humans... we're built as carnivores and we eat meat, and so there's obvious a reason for that. I can't to live, to survive, of course, but there's a reason for it. I don't know what it is, why we don't eat plants. I have an idea, because if us humans can procreate and spread all over the planet, man, we can consume a lot of plants, but we consume a little bit of everything. I mean, as far as this unnatural environment, we consume half and half plant, half animals, but we raise everything on farms. We do it in such a way it's unnatural, but whatever.
Get my head around it and integrate it. So don't worry if it's not quite clicking for you in the way that I explained it just now.
And if you want to survive on a diet of pills, that's fine.
Wait, when you say diet of pills, that's a load.
It is a diet.
That's right. If he wants to survive on pills, that's his decision. That's not our decision. Do you understand me? We have freedom too. We don't want to eat pills all day. So if this guy wants this problem with this vegan, he expects that everybody else should suffer. If I'm going to suffer, all of you should suffer along with me. No, that is your own business. If you want to suffer and kill yourself, die and you'll save the planet. Why not die? Just die. Kill yourself and save the planet.
Loaded term.
It is a diet.
One supplement a day. One supplement a day.
Bro, it's a diet of pills.
Most vegans take multiple pills.
I love this. Take one supplement a day. No, they don't work. They don't work, man.
Every day, which is just a slight indication that it's the wrong diet for humans.
So I take the Veg 1 multivitamin. Just take one of these a day.
Look how unnatural this guy is. He takes vitamins. Wow, somebody's making money off him. What a slave, isn't he?
Which reminds me,
What a good little slave.
I've done it today.
Somebody needs to tell this slave, you're not in prison anymore, bro. You're not in prison, and you're not a slave. You don't need to eat that.
We actually
He's crazy. He imagined that this pill is doing something to him. It was created by man. It's fake. It's fake. It's like mush stuff. It doesn't even work.
It's quite nice. But I know it sounds like I'm...
You know, want to know why it's quite nice? It's a sugar pill. It's made out of sugar. Bet you it tastes nice and sweet.
That probably looks like I'm putting it on. And you know what? I don't think I react that strongly normally. So maybe that was a bit... you know, it's like when a vegan activist tastes vegan food on camera and like, God, you gotta show people that it tastes nice. You know, taking one multivitamin...
You got to show people it tastes nice because it doesn't taste nice. But he has to show it does. Pretend.
vitamin a day. I mean, if you want to call that a diet of pills, it just seems incredibly hyperbolic to me.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, as a vegan, you don't
Did he say hyperbolic? Oh, man, give me a break.
need to be taking a multivitamin if you're eating a balanced
I like that word, vegan diet. Diet doesn't exist. There's just it's a behavior.
diet. But sometimes, though, I eat cinnamon buns and biscuits.
Oh, yeah, unnatural behaviors. Look, he eats cinnamon buns and biscuits. He eats these fake foods. They're made from grains. They're smashed seeds. Who the hell would eat seeds out there? They're filled with toxins in it. Seeds are toxic because that's how they protect themselves from being eaten. And he's like, this tastes good, man. Let me toxify myself some more and get brain damage. Okay.
It's for breakfast, so I like to take a multivitamin.
Man, all you have to do is read NCBI PubMed. It says there, it tells you about... fructose, what fructose does especially, gives you brain damage. That's the new report. Gives you brain damage. And what else? Apoptosis, DNA damage. Dysfunctional mitochondria, a whole bunch of stuff, man.
Just to make sure I'm safe. Generally, the only supplement you really need to be taking as a vegan is vitamin B12. Make sure you're taking that.
No, that's not the only one. It's apparently there's a deficiency of 15 micronutrients. But hold on, 15 nutrients. There's a deficiency of 15 nutrients in plants. But anyway, it's not bioavailable. And they don't have a sequence of all these amino acids. And plants are not protein. They are fiber. They're not protein. They're cellulose. You can't digest it. But anyways, the point is, they're just discovering now in meat that there are a lot more minerals inside meat that they have never known before, which cannot be found in plants. So what does he know exactly? See what I mean? Science itself is still discovering. We haven't even discovered everything yet.
By the way, vitamin B12 is literally supplemented to the farmed animals people are eating.
It's supplemented to the farm animals because they're feeding them unnatural food a lot of the time. So you have to be careful with that. They're not feeding their natural food grass all day. They should be grazing on grass. But then they feed them stuff like corn stalks and all this, the leftover stuff. The stuff they use for making gasoline and motor oil and everything, and then they feed it to you because they say, well, feed the people the seed oils. And this vegan's like, yeah, let's eat some seed oils. Yeah, of course they used them in World War II in machines, but they said it was healthy for us, so we should eat seed oils now, a lot of it. The more seed oils we eat, the better for us, so we could drop dead quicker.
You are consuming supplements either directly or indirectly,
You know what these supplements do? They deteriorate you faster than you're aging. Yes.
regardless of whether you're vegan. Depending on where you live and the time of the year.
They're actually very toxic. You could read about it. It's cyanide, B12. B12, when they say cyanocobalamin, cyana, they mean cyanide. That's what this B12 supplement is made from. I don't know what this guy's talking about, but it's highly toxic.
It might be recommended for you to take a vitamin D supplement, regardless of whether you're vegan or not.
Why do you need a vitamin? This guy's so unnatural. Why do you need a vitamin D supplement? Just go out in the sun. Go in the sunlight. Or eat meat. Meat's got vitamin D in it, and so does animal fat.
You know, most men who go to the
Even butter has vitamin D in it.
gym take some kind of supplement, whether it's a protein shake.
Guys who go to gyms take supplements, whether it's protein shake. They're taking protein shakes because they're stupid. They're lazy. They think it's made of whey proteins, but it's waste products because they're lazy. That's why, because they're artificial like you.
Or creatine. Supplements can be part of a healthy diet and lifestyle.
No, it can't. It can never be healthy because it's unnatural. Anything deemed unnatural breaks the laws of nature. If you break the law of nature, you're unhealthy. And you're breaking the laws of nature. Never mind the man's laws, these fake laws, okay, dude? There's a law called the law of nature, and when you break it, you're unhealthy, okay? Eating these fake things.
It's really not a big deal to take a multivitamin. But hey,
Oh,
maybe.
Christ, man. This guy's so... Man, why? Dude, you are so delusional. It's okay to take it. Well, who cares? Take it once in a while, even if it is fake. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. No, it's not good any time to take it because it's fake.
Yeah, I'm being delusional. Okay, so I just want to spend a few minutes
are.
going through the comment section. Let's check out what
You can just say, "Well, I just seemingly want to take it," but you don't have to. You don't have to keep saying it's healthy for you. You're making that up. Where's the proof that it's healthy to take these fake things? There's no such thing, okay? They're artificial. Here's the proof. You're breaking the laws of nature and it's unhealthy. There you go.
people are saying. Veganism is against nature. Again, like I said,
Veganism is against nature. It's against acting natural. We still are of nature as human beings, even if we are domesticated in this world. But it's a behavior. What we're doing, it's a behavior. And we're so addicted to these things that we're doing to ourselves now. So yeah, it's a behavior, dude. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what else to say there.
given that nature isn't an agent with goals or desires at all,
Yes, nature has goals and desires. The desire is for you to create more DNA and die.
nature isn't for or against anything. However,
Yes, it is. It's for everything. Against something? I don't know about that.
can definitely get myself into a headspace where, I understand what this person is.
It's against you if you're breaking the laws of its laws. If you break its laws, it's going to be against you. It's all for you if you don't break its laws, yes.
Saying that maybe abstaining from animal products isn't in line with what's natural, what our hunter-gatherer
Abstaining from animal products is not natural. Yeah. If you abstain from eating animals, your behavior, your natural behavior, which is eating animals, then you're breaking the laws of nature if you try to abstain from it. That's why there's the vegan compilations coming out. Get it?
our ancestors would do. But look, I'm sure you see the irony of going on your computer, making a YouTube comment to criticize someone else's lifestyle for not being natural. And you also
He's not criticizing somebody else's lifestyle of not being natural. He's simply pointing out facts. Is that illegal? Is that bad?
think that we shouldn't provide pain relief to elderly people.
Pain relief? They wouldn't be in pain if they didn't break the laws of nature. Hello?
Because it's going against nature? Do you think that we should
No, they were the cause of it. And now you wanna cure their pain with the stuff that they were already eating that caused the pain, which is these artificial pills that are made from plants again.
cut off the internet supply to everybody because that's going against nature? Should we provide
They're not going to live much longer on these so-called supplements. Why don't they cure them? Why can't they cure them? because they don't want to. Hello, it's marketing. Now, do you think maybe they could cure some things out there with these so-called medicines and pills that they have? Maybe they could. But guess what? They're not in the business of curing you. They're only going to administer stuff for your symptoms. That's it. They'll just control your symptoms.
Provide wheelchairs to disabled people, or is that going?
Wheelchairs to disabled people. Why are they disabled? Let's find the source of the disability. Oh, eating plants, violating what? Breaking the laws of nature. Yeah. Oh, where did they get all these ailments and sicknesses and diseases? Man, let's go back to the source. Plants caused it. Eating an artificial diet, or whatever you want to call this, artificial food and stuff.
Against nature. Why doesn't anybody tell vegans about all the animals that's killed to make the vegan food? These vegans have.
Yes. Why doesn't anybody tell the vegans about all the animals that killed to make the vegan food? Yes. I would agree with that. These farms are unnatural. They're farming the entire planet, man. We're losing a whole ecosystem.
Hard time listening to anybody else. Look, I would love it if
Poisoning the water supply, taking up the land by creating these farms, spraying like chemicals everywhere. Man, enslaving people on these farms to pick these toxic foods and then feed it to them in the market while stealing their slave money, giving them a slave job, slave work, slave farm, going to the slave store, buying the slave food, and them stealing their slave money everywhere they go. What a slave.
no animals suffered and died for humanity's food production. But as Rick
No animals died for human. Yeah, they died. They died. A lot of things are dying out there because of this.
is alluding to, even in crop production, some animals die. And
Animals create the planet. That's what they do. But if you're creating an artificial environment, what do you expect out of it?
that is unfortunate. And if we ever get to a world where we've managed to
I like how he said, well, that's just unfortunate. Oh, but it's okay for vegans, though, right? Yeah.
abolish the factory farms and the slaughterhouses, and we're
How about the plant farms? We should abolish all these rubber plant farms, chemicals, spraying chemicals, fruit farms, these artificial fruits and vegetable farms. They should all be eliminated, right, sir? They should be eliminated too, right? Come on, fair is fair. Right? Fair is fair. You want to eliminate these animal farms? Okay, no problem. Let them loose in nature. We'll go and hunt them instead, okay? But your farms, they don't exist in nature once they're eliminated. Get it, dude? Here's how I win my argument with you. Once these artificial farms are eliminated, and then you say, well, let's eliminate the farming of animals. Okay, no problem. We let them loose in nature. They run around in nature. Well, guess what? You lose. We win. See, humans win because we go back, we start hunting what? Animals, because your farms, they don't exist in nature. They don't exist. They're fabricated. They're fantasy. They are a fantasy, dude. Just like you.
not breeding and killing billions upon billions of animals every year, then I think we should also move to trying to.
Yes, we shouldn't be killing billions and billions of animals every year. Maybe we shouldn't be creating billions and billions of humans on this planet. There's 6 billion humans on this planet. What did you expect them to eat? All the plant? You want them grazing on all the plants and then they disappear? There won't be any forests left if they keep deforesting them, making these crazy farms to feed people like you.
Reduce the number of animals being accidentally or intentionally killed through crop production. But I think the main point here.
Oh, but that's okay during crop production if they die. Oh, I like how you said accidentally, all that. No, it's purposely. They're purposefully killing all these animals and their habitats. Farming. What are you talking about accidentally? There's nothing accidental. What humans do is not an accident. It's purposely done. See, nature doesn't do anything on purpose. It does it for a reason, but humans do things purposefully. Get it? Yeah.
Is that the farmed animals we eat are being fed with plants, and they eat far more.
They're being fed with plants. These animals that we're eating. Are you eating them too? Because you keep saying we. So that means you are still eating animals. See how he fucked up? He said we are still eating these animals. He said we, that means him and us together. So he's not really a vegan, he's a liar. He's still eating it. You want to know why? That's why he's so healthy. If he truly was not eating animals, then he wouldn't refer to it as we. He would have said you. You carnivores. He would have kept pointing out at you as carnivores, but he said we, so he's a carnivore. He's even admitted to it in here. Look, it's normal to do that, okay? He can't help it. He's a human. What did you expect? He was never born with any knowledge, only instincts to survive. And even he doesn't even know how to lie properly, this so-called fake vegan.
More than we do, and there's far more of them than there are.
Yes, we do.
So by choosing to boycott
There's far more of them than, yeah, okay.
animal products, I'm reducing the suffering of the farmed animals, but I'm also lowering the number of
What suffering? What are you talking about?
animals being killed in crop production, because the vast majority of our crops are being
Yes, what about them? Crop production doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
fed. I'm happy
There's no such thing. There's no crop production anywhere in nature. It's something you're doing as a human. What are you doing?
to know that these people don't get to spread their genes. It's incredible how nature always comes back to balance.
I am happy to know that these people don't get to spread their genes. Yes, it's incredible how nature always comes back to balance. It does. It does. That's why these people want to know why the Mayan and Aztec civilizations, they failed. The people ran back into the forest. You want to know why? Because they couldn't sustain themselves in that artificial environment. And they got sick of it. They went nuts. And they all retreated. They all went back into where? Into nature, into the forests. They went to live in the forest. Yeah. They didn't want to live in those crazy cities doing crazy things. They got sick of it.
Wait, what? Hate to break it to you,
Yeah.
but vegans and vegetarians do actually spread their genes as well. In fact, no,
That's unfortunate. It's going to be the crazy gene, yes.
I'm going to go to a sperm bank just to prove you wrong. For every kid you don't have, I'm going to have 2. What does she think wild animals eat? Yes, it's true that many wild animals eat other animals, but I don't think we should look at the behavior of other animals in order to determine.
And why is that? And why shouldn't we? That's how you learn. Listen, you learn about the law of attraction from animals. You look out there and you see some animals. How do they procreate? They attract. They don't chase, they attract the opposite sex. Your problem is you want to chase them.
How we should behave and what's moral for us to do. You know, wild
The
animal.
reason why you can't attract the opposite sex is because you've destroyed your face and you've destroyed your body by eating an artificial diet. So it destroyed your attractiveness. That's what plants do. They destroy your attractiveness.
Also eat their own babies sometimes, but I don't think
It even increases your estrogen, which isn't normal. You're estrogenic. You're feminine. You look very feminine and estrogenic. Your teeth are falling apart. How could you attract the opposite sex? You look unhealthy. You look sick. You look terrible. A healthy person looks attractive. You're unattractive because you're unhealthy.
I can point to that and say, look, therefore I.
They can even see you're wearing eyeglasses. The first thing they're going to think, the child's unhealthy because has to wear eyeglasses. It can't see. It's going to have bad eyesight like him, and bad teeth and bad looks.
am morally justified in eating my own babies, and there's going to be lots of them, because after this video I'm heading straight to the sperm bank and I'm going to find a cup. But what if there's
That's nice. Go ahead and give your sperm bank. Give your cup to the sperm bank. But did you know how they pick people at the sperm bank? They pick them by their looks. That's what they do, really. They take a good look at them, the woman, and they say, that's the guy I want, a Chad. And usually Chads are carnivores. Yeah, because they have the good looks. They didn't poison themselves with plants to destroy their looks, dude. Get it?
a small chance that sperm is sentient, you know? Kind of feel like
Mostly their mom probably ate a lot of meat and they came out looking pretty good. Yeah. And then they started eating a lot of meat and they were fed a lot of meat.
I should just leave them in my balls to survive a bit longer. Probably should cut that out. Did everyone hear him say, just because it's always happened doesn't make it ethical in today's world? Yes, it most certainly does. Just because your feelings are hurt doesn't make you right. If something always happening means it's
Your feelings are hurt? Are your feelings hurt, dude?
ethical, then that would mean that murder and rape were ethical. Because
Murder and rape? It's a behavior that these people are exuding. Why are they doing that? Think about it. Why are they doing that? Because bad programming, their unit is malfunctioning. That's why they're acting out this is why they're acting out that way. They wouldn't act that way most likely in nature because It's natural. And these are unnatural behaviors. They even sound unnatural when you say them. You will even say they're acting unnatural. Why are they doing that? See what I mean? It's kind of obvious. It's an unnatural behavior. You don't need to do that.
They've always happened and are still happening today. The vegan activists are so short-sighted that they can't even imagine that domesticated animals wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for the purpose of eating them. Actually, animal advocates are perfectly aware that we're breeding animals into existence for the purpose of eating them. And so if we were to stop eating them, then we would stop breeding them. But you know, when you look at the
Oh, really? Okay.
typical life of a farmed animal, it's not like we're doing them a favor by bringing them into existence. Their life is...
What? We're not doing them a favor by bringing their life into existence. Okay. Then don't farm them. Put them out back in nature and stop farming these fake foods.
miserable. The vast majority of farmed animals live in factory farms where their experience is being completely neglected in order to maximize profits. If I started breeding...
I just love this guy. Man, he's got a fake answer for everything. He can't win. He can't win. He wants to win, but he can't. Because you can't fight against something natural, nature. It's unnatural.
Dogs into existence.
What he's doing is unnatural.
Selectively bred them to change the bulldog into a different breed of dog, and I was using them for dog fighting.
Okay.
And they were living in cages and living in terrible conditions and were often having brutal deaths, as farmed animals are, by the way. And you told me, hey, stop doing that, this is animal cruelty. And I said to you, hey, I've bred these animals into existence for the specific purpose of dog fighting. They wouldn't exist if I weren't doing that. You'd probably say something like, these dogs aren't having lives worth living. If I had to choose between being born as one of these animals and living through that, or not being born at all, I'd rather not be born. And so I'll ask you the same question. Would you rather be born as a pig in a factory farm, live for 6 months before dying screaming in a gas chamber where you can't breathe? I think it's very...
What's with this gas chamber? This isn't World War II, Nazi gas chambers, okay, bro? I don't know what you're talking about.
Clear that it would be moral progress if we were to stop breeding billions and billions of selectively bred animals.
Well, then let's just stop breeding them, these selective animals, and let them loose in nature. And then we have to stop selecting and breeding these plants on farms too as well. Okay, dude? How about that? Case closed, okay? See that? See how easy that was? Case closed. You win and we win.
To existence to put them into factory farms before sending them to slaughter.
Okay, well, put them in nature. Cancel the farms, put them in nature, and cancel these plant farms that you're planting, these engineered fruits and vegetables, okay? Cancel those farms, and then as far as the animals, let them loose in nature. Now, unfortunately, your plants will not survive because they don't exist in nature. So good luck finding something in the forest to eat. Okay, dude? Very simple.
Houses. By the way, I've been to a British chicken farm myself, and I've seen the birds.
Yes, we know about them. It's a chicken farm. They're chickens, and they're there.
Who have been selectively bred to the extent where they can't even support their own bodies with their weight. So their legs are breaking beneath them. I found birds who had tipped upside down.
So go and help them. Go help that bird. It fell down by accident. Go and help it. Don't just videotape it.
Were unable to turn back over. And as I continued to explore the shed, I found the remains of more birds who had tipped upside down like that and had just died that way. So when someone tells me, but these animals wouldn't exist if we weren't breeding them, I think...
Natural selection, I don't know. They got weak and they fell over. It's yes, but like we said, we have a solution for that. Let's put them all out in nature so that the cities don't exist anymore. The cities will crumble, the animals will go back to nature, and humans will go back to nature. And then these fruits and farms and vegetables and whatever, these fake stuff, they don't exist out in nature anymore. So you go and find what you want to eat out there. All right? You go find it in the forest.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
I wish conscious beings didn't have to experience something like that.
See, he agreed with me. Yeah, that would be great if we would just let it all loose and get rid of all the farms. Yeah.
Anyway, those are my takes.
Let's go back to hunting and gathering and whatever you want to call this baloney.
I hope that doesn't sound too delusional to you. I hope you can at least see maybe...
No, it sounded perfectly fine to me. I think we should just abolish all farming altogether and then go out back into nature where we belong, just like the Aztecs and the Mayans. Eventually, this society will fall. It's inevitable. It will fall. It will crumble. It already is crumbling. It's already happening. It's already at that point, but it'll come soon where people will abandon. They're already abandoning the city life. They're moving into the country. I've moved into the country. Everybody's moving out into the country. They're abandoning the city life because it's artificial. It's putrid. It can't last. It can't work. It doesn't work. It won't work for much longer. You'll see. It'll fall apart. It'll be catastrophic.
Understand a bit more things from my perspective and perhaps from other animal advocates' perspectives who sees the suffering.
This shit can only go on for so long until it collapses. Society collapses.
On factory farms and slaughterhouses as a serious moral atrocity. And I really do...
The collapse has already started. When you see these people come out, this so-called vegan cult, these things start popping out, you already know it's on that verge of collapse.
Think that humanity are going to continue to expand the moral circle and to care more and more about animals over time. And I think we'll eventually move away from consuming factory farmed animals in the way that we're doing right now. And I think at that point, when people come away from eating animals, humanity will look back at this time and will see this moral emergency a lot more clearly. And I really do think that it's...
What if we can't look back anymore because we've destroyed ourselves?
going to be seen as a truly shameful thing that we've done to these animals.
Yes. What about the planet? What we did to these forests and deforesting them to grow all these plants, these crazy plants and everything, which are not natural and part of our natural behavior to eat plants. What about that? What about that? We've destroyed the environment. Yes.
Well, that's a bit depressing, I hope you've...
Just so we could support people like you, and you're going to come up with something called veganism. Somehow you're going to save the planet. The planet doesn't need saving. It's been here billions of years, and it'll still be here after you're gone.
Enjoyed the video. Yeah, I think one of the comments I saw there were, who's paying these people? I am very grateful for the people who are paying me, who's supporting me to make these videos.
Who's paying them, huh?
And to make the documentary that I'm working on. Thank you. And if you find...
See, he's not really about vegan. He said we as carnivores. That just goes to show you he's doing this for money. A lot of these vegans are so fake, man. They just come out. It's just another episode thing. Vegan, whatever you want to call it. The whole movement died because it doesn't work. It's unnatural, doesn't work. And so this guy is just making money. Vegan response, Mr. Humane Hancock.
My content valuable, then please do consider supporting me on Patreon, because...
There you go, see? You have to support him on Patreon, this, that. He needs money, bro. Get it?
You know, it's what enables me to focus my time.
Oh, it enables his money doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, bro. I know. But he wants money, but he doesn't want to eat any animals. You know what I mean? How is society going to function and give him any money if people are unhealthy and they can't work? What if they can't work without me and they just fucking drop? Can they send your money to him? Will they send their money if they're dead? No, people that are dead from eating vegan diets can't send you any money, sir. Unfortunately, we're not here right now. We're all dead. So I'm sorry, there's no money coming.
On trying to help animals. So
yeah, you're going to help out animals. What about helping out the planet? Yes. You're going to save the world. Yes.
Yeah, that really means a lot to me, and
I know it means a lot to me too, man. To help you out. Here, let me send you $1, okay? And there's a middle finger on it.
So incredibly grateful for people's trust.
Yes.
In order to do this work, and
yes, you're so grateful for their trust to do this work. Yes, to destroy the planet. Yes, okay.
I'm gonna do everything I can to
and destroy people. Yes, by brainwashing them to this vegan fake whatever thing.
To make the most of the opportunity.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks so much, and I will see you very soon with another video.
Yes, you're welcome so much. Yes. Oh man, that was really painful to watch, bro. I gotta tell you. That was just more crazy vegan bullshit, whatever. You see how easy it is to destroy these people, really? If I had a debate with any vegan, I'd just destroy them. It's really simple. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Touch, think about that, like, subscribe, support the channel. I'll see you in the next video. I have to plan on doing a vegan thing with Vegan Gains. I'm gonna do a, what do you call it? I'm gonna have a session with him or whatever, a debate on veganism or whatever. It's going to happen soon. Eventually, you'll see. Just give me some time. I'm a little bit busy right now. I gotta stay focused. See you later.